I wasn't supposed to be home that night. At least that's what my wife thought. I had told her I'd be staying late at the office to finish a project. In reality, I had wrapped up early and decided to surprise her with takeout from her favorite Thai place. I remember smiling in the car, thinking how much she'd appreciate the gesture, how maybe we'd spend the night curled up together after dinner. But when I pulled into the driveway and saw an unfamiliar car parked there, my stomach dropped. At first, I told myself it must be a neighbor's, maybe someone visiting. But the car was sleek, too polished, like it had just rolled out of a showroom. And the way it sat crooked in my driveway, it didn't belong. I quietly unlocked the door, balancing the paper bag in one hand, and the smell of pad thai and spring rolls filled the hallway. But it was quickly drowned out by something else. Laughter. Her laughter. The kind of laugh I hadn't heard from her in months. The carefree, head-thrown-back kind. And then, layered with it, a man's voice. Confident. Too familiar in the most unfamiliar way. My hands went cold. I set the food down on the console table without even realizing it, my heartbeat thundering in my ears. I should have left right then. Should have turned around, spared myself. But something in me needed to see. Needed to know. I walked down the hall, each step heavier than the last. The bedroom door was cracked open, and through that narrow slit, the world I knew unraveled. They were there. Together. In our bed. Her hair tangled, her body curved toward him. Her laughter softening into whispers I couldn't make out. But I didn't need to. The sight alone told me everything. Froze. My throat burned with words I couldn't say. My legs wanted to run, but my eyes wouldn't let me move. That bed, the one we picked out together after saving for months, the one where we planned our future, where we made love, where we once whispered our stupid late-night dreams. It wasn't ours anymore. It was theirs. And they had no idea I was watching. I don't know how long I stood there. Seconds. Minutes. Time didn't make sense anymore. Eventually I backed away, careful not to make a sound. My hands shook as I picked up the food I had brought, though I had no appetite left. I left the house, closing the door as quietly as I could, like a thief sneaking out of his own home. Driving felt like moving through fog. My chest hurt so badly I had to pull over twice just to breathe. Rage wanted to explode, but grief weighed it down. Betrayal doesn't hit all at once. It spreads like poison, numbing everything it touches. I didn't confront her that night. Instead, I checked into a cheap motel a few miles away. I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the faded wallpaper, the untouched food still sitting beside me. I should have been hungry, but my stomach churned every time I thought of them together. The silence was suffocating. The next morning, she texted me like nothing had happened. "How's work? Don't forget we're supposed to have dinner with my sister tomorrow." I stared at the screen, my hand trembling. The gall of it. The casual tone, as if the night before hadn't happened. As if she hadn't just burned our marriage to the ground in the same room we once swore to protect each other in. I didn't reply. For the next few days I lived in that motel. Every morning I went to work like normal, pretending everything was fine. And every night, I sat with the knowledge that my wife had no idea her secret wasn't a secret anymore. I watched her lie to me in real time. When I finally went home, it was like stepping onto a stage. She greeted me with a hug, pressing her lips to mine like nothing had changed. I let her, though inside I recoiled. Her scent wasn't the same. Her touch felt rehearsed. But I played along. I smiled when she smiled. I laughed when she laughed. All the while, the image of her with him replayed in my head, sharper than any knife. It was 2 weeks later when I decided I couldn't keep pretending. We were having dinner, her spaghetti overcooked as usual, but I ate it anyway. She was talking about work, about some coworker who annoyed her. I barely heard her. My hands clenched around my fork, and before I realized it, the words slipped out. "I saw you." She froze. "Saw me." I met her eyes. That night. With him. In our bed. The color drained from her face. The fork slipped from her hand, clattering onto the plate. "What are you talking about?" "Don't," I snapped, my voice breaking. Don't lie to me again. I was there. I saw everything. For a long moment she just stared at me, her lips trembling. Then the tears came, sudden and messy. It was a mistake, she whispered. It didn't mean anything. I swear. I laughed. Bitter, hollow. Didn't mean anything. You laughed with him. You touched him like you used to touch me. You chose him. And you did it in our bed. She reached for my hand, but I pulled away. The contact felt like acid on my skin. Please, she begged. We can fix this. I'll end it. I'll do whatever it takes. Just don't give up on us. I stared at her, searching for the woman I thought I married. But all I saw was a stranger in my wife's face. Do you know what you've done to me? My voice cracked. Every time I close my eyes, I see it. Every time I breathe, I smell him on you. You've poisoned everything. Her sobs filled the room, but they didn't move me. Not anymore. The next weeks were a blur of lawyers, paperwork, and cold silences. She begged, she apologized. She even tried to seduce me once, as if intimacy could erase betrayal. But the damage was permanent. Our marriage wasn't a house with a broken window. It was ash. The divorce went through faster than I expected. I kept the house, though it felt more like a tomb than a home. The bed was the first thing I got rid of. I couldn't even look at it without my chest tightening. She moved out quietly. No grand speeches, no dramatic goodbyes. Just a woman packing up the remnants of a life she had destroyed with one choice, one night. It's been months now. People tell me time heals, but it doesn't feel like healing. It feels like scar tissue forming over a wound that still throbs when touched. Sometimes, I drive past that motel where I first stayed after discovering her betrayal. I think about the man I was before that night. The one who thought love was safe, that loyalty was a given, that marriage vows were sacred. That man is gone. In his place is someone harder. Someone who understands that betrayal doesn't just break your heart. It rewrites who you are. And yet, in some strange way, I'm grateful I saw what I saw. Because at least now I know the truth. At least now, I'm free from the lie she tried to keep me in. My wife didn't know that night that I had seen her. But I did. And it changed everything.